Hi everybody. Okay, sorry I'm like an hour late, but I had to rewatch YNR because I did something that you're really not supposed to do. I kind of fast forward through some scenes today because it was kind of boring. We had A and B storylines pretty much, and one that was slightly C, but it wasn't a full story yet, so that's why I skipped today. Okay. So the storylines are Kyle wants to take Harrison to Paris with him. So that means Claire has to come to take care of Harrison while Kyle's working, right? Okay, well, I was sitting here saying to the character, although I know she can't hear me, why are you even pondering this? You should just say yes. You you got a guy asking you to come with his son to Paris. What's the problem? And she's all trying to be that nice girl and not ruffle any feathers with Summer. And I get all that. Okay, great. But um first of all, for some reason, Summer doesn't like you. Now it's unfounded, but she doesn't like you. So you trying to be friends with her is a losing battle. And sometimes nice people have to get a little gruff. I'm not saying argumentative. I'm saying that you have to stand your ground. And she should just say yes to the trip and let whatever happen happen after that. And not worry about Summer and everything else. Because Summer isn't really worried about her. I mean, she is in the sense that she thinks everything is a threat, which is why I go back to I think Summer is like she's an adult trying to be an adult and she's not actually one. And also, you have to put in the factors that Phyllis is Summer's mother. This is important because today Phyllis said out of her mouth that uh Audra is your real threat here. I think that she actually put Claire down and Audra down in the same sentence. She said, I don't really see Claire as a threat because she's so young. She probably sees Harrison as a playmate. Okay, dig number one. Then dig number two is Audra is your real problem because she's competitive and she'll handle you if she has to. So what you have to do is take her out. Get her out. Okay, when you talk language like that, when you say language like that, I automatically think, okay, when you say get rid of, I think of ending someone's life. Um, and that would be a little too, well, I mean, way aggressive, but that would not solve your problem because if you solve the problem, it would be temporary. Uh, then I have a lot more problems and bigger problems like jail time, like trouble with the police, interrogations, investigations, and you have to answer for all that. And then if the answers don't come out in your favor and say you doctor the truth, then you have even more trouble than what you started with. So Summer, character, writers, whoever I'm talking to, don't make Summer go down the path her mother did. Okay, if anything, someone should be telling her, honey, this is not the way to go. You don't want to do this. I'm sorry that you see Audra or anybody female, it seems like, as a threat. But the way to handle it, first of all, you don't have to handle it. Second of all, um, it's not the way to go about it. But that would be me. Um, so then, of course, Victoria and Nikki are talking about what's happening with Victor and Adam. And they all say and agree that, well, I hope that we get through this. And it's not that he pits us against each other and see who crumbles first. Okay, so same old Victor, you know. Um, so then Adam might be smarter than I gave him credit for in the beginning, because I thought that he had this whole angle of wanting to please his father because he's the red-headed stepchild syndrome. So I said, okay, so he's going to do anything he has to do to get in his father's good graces, beyond common sense and logical thinking. Okay. But he said, I don't want to do your bidding just yet until I have a plan for Glissade, right? And then he says, and then Victor says, but there's a caveat to that. He says, of course there is. Then he says, well, son, all I want you to do is talk up Glissade on all our platforms. And he's like, nothing negative about Jack? No, nothing negative. So what's to say that Victor said all this, but once he gets Adam under his wing and under his control, so to speak, he flips the script and does something completely different than he said he was going to do. What's to say he won't do that? That's where I think that's going. Okay. So, to finish up the Claire saga, Claire didn't give him a definitive yes or no. She said she had to think about it. So at that point, I was throwing stuff at the TV because I'm like, what do you have to think about? But yeah, so we have no answer there. And then, let's see. The Nikki and Victoria thing, Adam and Victor are going to do what they're going to do. So, no real resolution there yet. But I could see something coming in the next week or something about that. Although, it could be one of the storylines where they drag out for a couple months. So, who knows? It depends on how vicious Victor wants to be. All right. Yeah, that's it. All right, I guess.